Welcome back to the Tide Hanger. This is Mike coming at you with the weekly news and review for February the 9th, 2025. This week, news, Transformers. It's very heavy with Hasbro and Haslab and a lot of that good stuff. A little bit of some legends, sub-legends. Very little of the masterpiece. And I believe that when we have this TFCon, there's going to be some good reveals at this TFCon. There usually are. We've got a few things from Mezco, some pictures from an event, Metacon or something along those lines. And then we've got some Marvel stuff. I don't usually talk about Marvel, but, you know, I'm a day late, a dollar short on ordering ROM. And then we've got several different reveals, releases, pre-orders for Street Fighter from different companies. We'll talk about all that. And we have Everything Old is New Again, and new and different and slightly different. But this begins a poster series for NECA, which is just an excuse to reissue old stuff with slightly different paint. We'll talk a little bit about that. Got a date that we're going to start. Well, we should, on this specific date, know what's coming with the new mask line from the Loyal Subjects. And then, little to no Star Wars news. I mean, I would say no news, but there's some coming up. Right, starting out with some quick news for some stuff going on Show Z. This is Yellow Park AMK Pro Series pre-assembled model kit for Alita. This is the cogged version at $36.99, being about 6.69 inches tall. This one here is the uncogged version for $23.99 at about 5.12 inches tall. This is the Yellow Park AMK Pro Series Ape Link model kit. A lot of people asking about this Yellow Park stuff, and I've got to say, no new G1 that I've seen announced because they're working on these things here. This is 7.87 inches on sale for $83. $83 is on sale from $90. Also, we discussed this last week, the DNA Design DK58 upgrade kit for Raiden to make him taller, slimmer, sleeker, and $1 down, no price just yet. Probably about $50 though. It's usually what they run, but it's up for pre-order right now. Also, there's this last one here. This is a Kenai Mech Girl, and it is on sale from $90 to $35. Not sure why such a steep 61% off, but if you're into this kind of stuff, it is 1/12 scale. As we see every week, Fans Hobby puts up multiple pictures of the projects they're working on. But this one right here is the Fans Hobby MB-18 Energy Commander Core Robot plus MB-25 Arrow Wing in their alt mode pictures only. This is from one angle, and let's see if we can see it from the other angle, and there it is. And this looks pretty good. This is the one that I think this is the one I thought looked like a B-Wing, but it does a whole lot more when it gets into bot mode. This is just showing updates on these pictures, and I believe this is a full color prototype. This is 3-0 with their deluxe Transformers Last Night Nemesis Prime, and it looks pretty good. Again, I've said in the past multiple times that we didn't get very much from this movie, and a lot of the stuff, the very little bit that they put out, went to clearance very, very fast. I have a few figures in storage that I picked up on clearance for like $5. I was like, well, I can't pass that up, and they actually looked kind of cool. But with this is the bigger deluxe version, I believe around the 11-inch scale. So I guess a lot of people are getting this in hand, so that's why there's a lot of pictures on Weibo of Ocular Max Infinity IF02 Stray, or their take on a drift figure, and looking pre-orders are sold out at Show Z. So this thing is pretty wildly popular, and it does look really good. Tons of different pictures. Most of what I've seen is in robot mode, kind of showcasing the robot mode. The alt mode does look clean also, and this is definitely masterpiece scale, MMC, Mastermind Creation, Ocular Max if you're into it. So this is actually the first official photography and images for the MPG Takara Nucleon Quest Super Convoy official. And this one is supposed to be up February 13th for pre-order in Japan. And then, of course, everywhere else, it'll be actually available other places. I'm pretty sure Show Z will have some. I'm pretty sure all of the major US retailers will have some pre-order with that, but it does look good. I actually think this color scheme looks a lot better, most specifically because it is a very uniform color scheme. Price still not available yet, probably around the same price as the first one, as the Super Jinrai, but it looks really cool, it looks really good, and in the black deco. I will probably get it. I've got the original one on the way. All right, so we're going to transition into some Legends news, but this is Legends news in a way. It's just a picture. Absolutely no information about it. People seem to like this, and no ordering information yet. I'm guessing something like this you'd have to find on TF Safari. But the name of this is Mini Force Dinoid Rex Kaiser, Kaiser. And it looks interesting. It's something different, completely different. But yet, I would think would fit in right along, probably more along the lines with your Iron Factory stuff. Speaking of Iron Factory, people have been posting lots of pictures of their combined version of their Liokaiser. I'm not sure what they call it, but it does look pretty cool. And the reason for that is, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's the Haslab. So I guess the Haslab got a lot of people excited about pulling their Liokaiser out from the Iron Factory and showing it off. It is called the IFE 65-70 Vinokaiser. All right, I grouped this in with the Legends, but this is more pictures. These are actual in-hand pictures, people that actually have this. This is the Dr. Wu Workshop Extreme Warfare DWE 54 Iron Fortress in the city mode via SH Schmoptimus Prime? Schmoptimus? SH Schmoptimus. Anyway, pretty cool looking pictures of this and very, very clear. And then there is a different setup. You can set it up however you would like, move this stuff around. Kind of like most of these Metroplexes. But it does look pretty good as a little guy. But, you know, if you say, well, you know what? I'd like something just a little bit different. He's coming in this color scheme also, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the good things about this. Why would you want a city bot that is the size of a Legends figure? Well, I don't... You know, it's a good point. I'm curious exactly how tall it is compared to an actual Legends figure. But it is in the tiny realm, probably, definitely sub-Legends. Dr. Wu's also putting up this E09G Starscream Golden Lagoon version. I'm taking it, but does look like a Starscream, and it does look gold, and it does transform. It's microscopic. It's like the Micromasters from back in the day, but yeah, it looks pretty good overall. Pretty much like all the other Seekers, but now it's gold. It's got a cape. Now, I've been meaning to get some of these Dr. Wu cassettes. Tef on YouTube did a video review of this, and one of the things I want to point out is how they're not much smaller than the G1 stuff, and I kind of like that idea. I kind of like that they're not that much smaller. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention to see if they're the same size, because I think they're supposed to be the exact same size as what Hasbro's putting out, so you can use them with the Hasbro Soundwave and Shockwave and Soundwave and Blaster, not Shockwave. But anyhow, this does look so much cleaner than anything in the G1 realm, and with that, definitely a major improvement. I'm tempted because I absolutely love the G1 cassettes, and this is really getting close to it. Well, except way better. A couple more things that APC Toys is making, and this one, they call it Serpent Bell, and it's, I believe, from the Prime series. Again, a little bit out of my territory here, but I think it looks interesting. It looks very familiar from that era. But there is the jet mode. If you're interested in this, you might want to start searching out for some APC Toys Serpent Bell. And most recently, Mang Motion had featured the Mechanic Skull Studio, which is a Starscream mold, basically, in sort of the Legends scale, and it's the MSS-02R Disaster White Ramjet version. So they're just going to repaint all that same mold to all the different colors, and that one does look pretty good overall. And it also has a pretty good shot of the alt mode and all the accessories and stuff that's going to come with it. It is 4.72 inches tall, due out in late April of 2025, and price probably about the same as the Starscream, which was $36.99 for a Legend scale figure. All right, so we're officially going to cross into some Hasbro mainline news, which sort of is the bulk of the news this week for Transformers. And looks like on the 13th, which is Thursday, there's going to be some pre-orders up. But I have to say this, that the U.S. versions of these things, of at least I know the Commander class Devastator, the 2-pack, is up for pre-order at BBTS right now. And so you can pre-order that stuff now, but this is saying 13th. I know this is T-Spark, has to do with Takara Tomy Mall, and all that kind of stuff. So look forward to all these pre-orders that are coming to BBTS and all the places that carry the official Hasbro stuff. And I do want to point this out. Okay, on BBTS, took a little screen grab here for you, and you can see that the Steel Fortress from Lewin Resources, W Resources, now it's $1,500 if you're wanting to get that. Initially, I think they were $1,300. So it's gone up a bit. I guess shipping's more than I thought. And then the upgrade kit for Skapadak Titan class by DNA Design for $44.99 is up for pre-order if you need that for your Skapadak. And then there's also a DK21 upgrade kit reissue if you need that for your, I guess it goes to Skapadak. And then down there's another upgrade kit. And so if you're interested in this stuff, it's up for pre-order. I'm actually surprised I didn't hear anybody talk about these upgrade kits getting reissued by DNA Design. And like I said, I think the biggest Transformer pre-order at BBTS that's probably the most exciting is the Hook and Long Haul, the 2-pack that makes up the Commander class, and it's $90, but you need this if you're going to build your Devastators, so you got to get it. But anyway, I pre-ordered one. I plan to get this set just for fun. I think it'll be kind of fun for me to build along with my son. Hope by the time it comes out, my son's still into it. He's getting a little shaky there, like he's not caring about Transformers anymore. It hurts your heart, but it is a thing. Here's the alt mode and carrying around the extra parts and bits. Kind of nice that you can actually do that. I mean, that's a good thing. I guess you could say that they have some sort of way to transport around the parts, the bits. What bits, you say? What bits? These bits. These combiner parts. I think that, truthfully, the vast majority of collectors are going to have theirs in combine mode anyway. But then again, the whole point of the set is to make the bots even better than the Combiner Wars version bots. So at the same time, it's still going to be better in both ways. Some people argue it's not going to be better, but the Combiner Wars one will still fit in Masterpiece scale if you're doing the MMC. This is going to scale closer to Combiner Wars scale. But anyhow. So from MegaCon, I think I called it Metacon. It's MegaCon. This is, well, it shows you that we built this combiner on rock and roll, right? It looks good, and each individual figure looks good, and there's the box art for the Commander class and the box art for individual figures, and it really, just looking at the box, it doesn't feel like a $90 box of stuff, but the overall combiner looks good. I've heard people say they don't like the way it looks. Some people say they do like the way it looks. I'm looking at it from the spectrum of this is a Hasbro product, and it looks pretty good. Will there be better looking ones like Fantoys and X-Transbots and MMC and the Masterpiece scale? Yes. Will they cost significantly more? Yes. Does this look good for the price point? Yes. Size, it's sized right. And it says the Combiner Wars one, although I love the fact it was as big as it was way too big to be cohesive with the rest of the releases. The rest of the stuff they showed at the booth at this event wasn't really all that impressive. I do want to say the Stripticon does look good. If you missed out on it, I would say get it. If you're interested in it, you want to get it, get it. If you have one and you want to maybe get this one, sell your old one, get it. If you're happy with your old one, guess what? Don't get it. It's that simple. I didn't pre-order it. I considered it, but I said, nah, I've got one. I didn't even open it in the box, but this also, the Commander class, I guess this is what comes in the Commander class box. You get the whole shell. I bet you anything there's going to be 3D prints for the figures to pop in there, and I might go that route. I mean, I think that's kind of the new trend with Fans Toys. They've done it with New Age. Why not do it with Hasbro? And, of course, they're not going to get any trouble, are they? So that would be a whole lot of fun. I would still buy all the other components. I just wouldn't have to put them on the figure. So we got a Haslab. What is this thing? This thing is a Liokaiser Liokaiser. And it is the next Haslab, just kind of showing you the size and scale as a combiner. A multitude of different figures that make it up is bigger than Deathsaurus, and so $100 more instead of, well, I think it's 110, it's 120 instead of 100, 180. It's 300. There we go. I will be transparent. I'm not in on this, but I want to also say this is exactly what Haslab should be used for. I got a color image of it, what it's supposed to look like, and all of that good stuff. And there's a lot of people that love this figure, this combiner. They're excited for it, as you can see, with people all across the internet posting their pictures of their Legends version, excited to get a Hasbro mainline version of this. And with that, there's going to be a lot of support for this project. But it is $300. There are 3 tiers to unlock. At 13,000 backers, you get a Death Cobra, which I do understand to be a popular character that people want. And then at 16,000, you get an electromagnetic nunchuck. And at 18,000 backers, you get display bases. Here's a little bit better picture of the nunchakus that unlock at 16,000. And then also the other figure in there that unlocks and looks like it connects to the chest. That's my understanding of the situation right there. And then, of course, stands are stands. Not much more to that, but pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting unlocks. $300. Well, you do get several different figures that combine. I'm not going to go into each one because I don't know much about them, but I will give updates on this. Right now, they're currently at 44-ish, 41, 48. Yeah, 41, 48, needing 10,000. So in roughly a day or two, they've already gotten halfway there almost. All right, so there's some other stuff. This is the Hearts of Steel Megatron and Bumblebee. That it's interesting. Something a little bit different. And they turn into, I think Bumblebee turns into a train, and then Megatron turns into like tank, kind of looking like some old school kind of stuff. It's a whole line of things that they're doing here. They're also doing an Optimus Prime and a Starscream in this Timelines set and 2-pack. And they turn into kind of similar to what we just saw, but yet a little bit different. Starscream turns into, of course, a plane. That makes a lot of sense. And Optimus Prime turns into Thomas the Train. But maintaining his color scheme with the red and blue and white and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is actual pictures from day 2. So they withheld some of the stuff back from day 1 of the event, put this out on day 2. And as you can see right here, more stuff it's easier to get an idea of how big this Haslab is next to what appears to be the Combiner Wars version. And it is significantly larger, or slightly larger, but the figures are significantly larger. And they look a lot cleaner too. If you look over to the right, you see the figures. The figures look pretty clean. Maybe they're going to add more line work and texture and deco later, but I kind of like the smooth look. Is anybody in on Thomas the Train, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee? I don't know. I'm curious. Doesn't seem like something that appeals to me, but it is definitely something different that I don't think's been tried before. Okay, also coming out of Wonderfest, there's the exclusive Beast Wars Rat Trap Garage Kit prototype, which we've seen before, but this is actually a better looking version, more complete. This is what it'll look like when you're done. So there it is, and it doesn't look bad. I'm curious about if it has any at all articulation. My understanding is no. My understanding, no, it's like a statue. So, there it is. Tail might articulate. EarthSpark stuff, I know there's some people that actually do like it, do collect it. I know it is mostly targeting the kids, but this is an Optimus Prime EarthSpark with Prime Battle trailer. And it's $40 if you're into it. And they're announcing quite a bit of EarthSpark kind of stuff here. This is their Soundwave, and I don't know if you remember, but Soundwave stopped turning into a boombox or a Sony micro cassette player and started turning into an airplane. Now, this was during the live action movie age or something along there. But they've continued that trend. Also, this is the Terran hashtag. Are you from Burma? Terran hashtag. Anyway, this is something that turns into, I guess, a truck. But I'm not too familiar with the EarthSpark. I didn't really watch all of it. I watched a little bit of it. I thought it was okay. It was more like kiddie. I do feel like G1 was... It was still goofy a bit, but it was a little bit more mature than some of the cartoons they're putting out nowadays. There's another figure that's supposed to be going live for pre-order Thursday, the 13th of February. And it is the... This one is Monster Hunter Transformer Collaboration Silver Rathalios Prime. And I think it looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty cool. If you like the Silver Bowl or something along those lines, it looks like possibly a retool of that. Maybe Air Razor, but a couple other unrelated stories. So it's really interesting that they opened a restaurant in... Where was the original opening? In Causeway Bay, Hong Kong. And it was an impressive, featuring some Transformer decorations. And it just kind of felt like you're walking into the Ark, and it just was a fun Transformer experience. But you could eat a meal, and I understand it's a little on the pricey side. But they're relocating it to Shenzhen. And I guess what they're going to do is they're just going to move this concept around. I would think you'd want to open other branches and make it a chain, but it seems to be they're just moving it around. It's still interesting. It's still fun. And if something like that happened here in the U.S., I'd go visit it. And I guess there's some sort of a deleted scene that maybe we're going to get the deleted scene, or we're going to get to see the deleted scene from the Transformers 1 if you're interested, but it's not up yet. This is just a picture, a still from the deleted scene if you're interested in seeing a deleted scene down the road. I'm sure it's going to come out one way or another. I'm probably going to be attached to a DVD or something. All right, so moving into something that's not Transformers, and we're going to talk about Killer Mask. And turns out that we are actually going to find out the release, well, not the release of everything, but we're going to see the first wave, possibly the direction that Loyal Subjects is going to go with the Killer Mask line. This is all going to happen at Toy Fair. 2025 Toy Fair is supposed to happen from March 1st to March 4th, and my understanding is this is supposed to be revealed on March 1st. But I know how these things go, and sometimes the other things get revealed first, and they hold back some of the good stuff, and maybe they'll reveal a little bit at a time. Who knows? But I do look forward to it. Probably one of the most exciting things for me to look forward to this year. I kind of assume that Playmate's going to do the same thing with this Power Rangers Reignition. Now, they showed more or less just a fuzzy picture of the top half of this picture. The lower half now shows silhouettes of what those Power Rangers look like. I'm not a big Power Ranger collector. I have a few, but I'm not like super big into it. But I'm curious, does this look good from the silhouettes? Those of you who are serious Power Ranger collectors or really into it, do those look good compared to like all the other ones you got? Trying to stay in order here and not get out of order, but of course that always happens. Always get out of order. But this is NECA's RoboCop. I want to say this: the information I got about this was that the reporting on it was funny because they're like, yeah, it's a 10-year-old mold. I bought mine in 2012, and mine wasn't even the first one, but I think mine was the first version of the opening hip. But I got it at Walmart for real cheap, so I was happy to get it. But now they're kind of reissued. They've reissued it. You've got slightly different colors from what you get at Walmart, what you order at BBTS, because I've got one of each place just for fun. And I want to say that this is yet another slight color variation to match the poster work. I'm going to try to enlarge this so that you can see, so that you've got like the reddishness on the shoulder. It really doesn't look like it's hitting the helmet that much with the paint, but the shoulder, the side there, so you can get the lights reflecting off of him. And then the art looks like he's getting into his car, even though there's no car there. There's some really cool stuff that they've done with this set, but at the end of the day, it's just another way to get your hands on RoboCop if you missed out on the last 2 production runs. Well, 7 production runs if you date it all the way back to 2011 when they first started them. Alright, some Street Fighter 6 Amazing Yamaguchi Rebel Tech Ryu preview which is a version of Ryu I don't know. But it is 6-inch scale. It is probably going to be expensive. I'm expecting $100 or more. I probably won't get it because I'm really into the looking like the video game and all of that fun stuff. But it's interesting to see something different. Really, I am kind of tired of seeing the same figures getting remade over and over and over. Oh, let's get into Storm Collectibles. And this is I believe this is part of their 6-inch 1/12 scale collection because of the fact that they call this the second one in this lineup and everything seems to match. But anyhow, I think it looks good. One of the things that makes this different and sets it apart from Jada is a $2 more price point for sure on one of the other figures we're about to talk about. But also the fact that this thing, I think they have just a little bit more detail and a little bit more paint app to it. Not saying that Jada isn't detailed enough for me. It's very well detailed enough for me. But Storm Collectibles adds that extra little paint here, the overspray, or whatever you want to call that to it. But a little bit of weathering to it. If you like that more, then you wouldn't spend the extra couple bucks on the Storm Collectible. But I'm thoroughly happy with what Jada's done. So I don't even know if I'm going to pick these up, but I will get one just to kind of check it out. And here is their Ryu and Kin. No, Kin. Ryu's the other one. Kin. Right down there. It's 1/12 scale figure. But what I wanted to say is, like, if you zoom in on the pant leg and the whole gi and how there's just so much detail and texture to it, there's a little bit less of that on the Jada one. But I think that I actually will, at the end of the day, still like the Jada one more. You can see from this picture that you do have the toe tilt, which is a good thing. But I want to get my hands on one, just check it out. But another thing about me is I'm a little weird, a little freaky, but I like to have different companies making up my shelf display for something like this, so I can A, pick the one I like the most of them, and B, I can check them all out and see that, which one's better. All right, so this wave went up for pre-order this past week, and I think I was like 2 days behind on it. I saw it, and I was like, yeah. I even took the screen grab right out the email the minute the pre-orders came up. And I was like, yeah, I'll go pre-order it when I get time. And 2 days later, I was like, you know what? Let me go get a ROM. Sold out. Sold out. Everywhere I can find it. But if somebody sees it not sold out, let me know. I might pre-order it somewhere. Or I'll just roll the dice. But, Crystar, I never saw Crystar in stores. And I kind of feel like this is going to be the same way with this wave. And with that, I don't really want anything else at all in this wave. The ROM's the only thing I'm going to pick up. Same thing with Crystar. It's the only thing I bought in that wave. But I am glad that they're giving this to us. But it seems like everybody else in the world's more excited than I am. And thought I was pretty excited. Good Smile Company is making this figure 6.7 inches tall. Figma Lilith. And it's from Diablo 4. And it's priced approximately $115. And look to find this in October. Of course, pre-orders will be going live soon if you're interested in all of this. She's also packed with a Danzig skull. Ha, ha, ha. Or a Crystar skull. Well, however you want to put it. But look at the issue number 8. And yeah, cool stuff. Sure, there's more significance to this skull than I know. Here, kitty, we have the Masters of the Universe, New Eternia, Panthor, not flocked, $40 for, of course, the Masterverse, approximately 14 inches in length, approximately similar to what we got with the Battle Cat, except in purple, and a shiny veneer. Well, it is textured, look like hair. You do, I guess, get this background inside the box. Something along those lines. But, yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I'm not in on it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm kind of tired of buying stuff on the Mattel Creations. And then I'm really tired of hearing that, oh, you spent 40, now it's 27 on Mattel Creations. Most of the stuff hasn't been selling out. And not that, like, I care if it sells out or not. It's more of, I'll buy it when it's all on sale and I'll get one shipping cost. And that's what I'm going to do. And if I miss out, I miss out. But at this point, I'm winding down my Masters Universe stuff. Even though I will admit, this is very, very cool. And there's a lot of people out there that need this in their collection. Okay, maybe not need. Maybe it's more of just want this in their collection. Okay, let's get into checking out some of these cartoon origins figures. This is the cartoon collection Invisible Skeletor on the right there. He's invisible and he's a Skeletor, $20. If you get him, BBTS, probably every place, same way. Then you get the Buzz Off, which cartoon Buzz Off. It's really kind of hard to get over the fact that he was like $7 on clearance for so long, for just a standard one. And then Frosta, and which we don't have a Frosta in Origins yet. This is Origins cartoon now. And then there's a Catra that's still available for pre-order, and also like a Faker that's available for pre-order, all those kinds of things. But anyhow, this is the new wave. If you're interested in this, you can go pre-order it at your favorite place. And then there's an announcement for Mondo and their 1/6 scale. That means 12 inches because you just folded it in half. And she looks really good. I like the way she looks. And she's got like a cape. She's got like a furry collar on there. And then she comes with a bird. Looks great. And yeah. Is that one Soar? That was the bad guy bird. I forgot the name of the bad guy bird. Anyway, it comes with a ton of stuff. Very impressive. Prices are usually what? Like $275 or something for these. I do not have the space or the available funds at this point in time to collect 12-inch Mondo. But I can still admire it. Looks good. Mezco Toys has shown off pictures of their 1/12 turtles. I think it looks pretty good. There's a lot of Mezco turtle pictures, but yeah, this one looks pretty good overall, and I'm curious a lot more about this. This is kind of like a teaser pick, and you know, like you're gonna be spending $100 on this thing. What else is it gonna come with, and will we have more? There's gonna be a lot more to it than this teaser pick. Mezco also showcasing their 5 points of articulation figures I have on pre-order. And you can see to the right there, there's Wave 2, which I have some words to say about that thing. But, yeah, the Wave 2 seems to be just a Batman, and he's holding that dude up. But also you can see the Batmobile behind there. All this for more or less the 5-inch scale. Batman animated right here stuff, Series 2, 5 points articulation. Thought this stuff was already out, but I kind of stopped on these myself, personally. Not so into the animated stuff, but I have some of it because it was kind of fun. Here looks like some good looking figures here. This is Fantastic Four, and then we've got an Iron Man in there. They're just kind of showcasing a lot of good stuff. One of the things, I think we'll get to it next. Yeah. One thing is that my favorite part of Spider-Man is not Spider-Man at all. It's the villains. I think the villains really are the best part of Spider-Man. So iconic, so outlandishly crazy and wacky and fun. Yeah, the villains, to me, are the best part of Spider-Man. Here's some more X-Men stuff from Mezco. 1/12 Collective showing off. That's a lot of money on that shelf right there. These aren't cheap. Don't know why this picture is not grouped with the other ones, but anyway, it's just what it is. So this is the 5 point of articulation, so lower price point, Mezco Batman, and this is from that scene where he says, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Batman," as if he's got a cold. But you know, it's when Batman started talking with his voice as if he's got a cold to disguise it, I guess. One thing that bothers me about this is the fact that if it's 5 points of articulation, if they're not doing this one pose, then none of it works. And so with that, it's kind of silly. Can we at least get some maybe 2 of the points of articulation in this particular figure are in the ankles? I don't know, but they really should be in the ankles of that figure. But then again, what's Batman got to do with his arms when he's not holding that guy up? It's just weird. Would love to hear the little voice clip of that whole interaction if this is all it's going to do. I have exorcised the demons. Okay, so we've got something else from Mezco. The Roto plush, not much information on it yet, but I'm sure the head spins all the way around. And this is from The Exorcist. It's like a little doll, and it's creepy. If you're interested, there'll be more information coming soon. I'm trying to figure out where this picture came from, but I do want to talk about G.I. Joe Classified, and I want to say that Although I'm not a fan of the Road Pig figure, the way it looks. I think that this grouping of Dreadnoks that Hasbro's done look amazing, look fantastic, really awesome, and I'm probably going to have to spend the money on a Road Pig, unless I can find them on sale somewhere, to finish out my group. But, man, that looks great. And whoever did this picture and then those extra little bottles that are in there, fantastic job. Okay, you got 1 minute left so that we can talk about Star Wars. It probably won't take that long. Okay, Walmart exclusive, the Black Series Commander Cody now shipping to all collectors in Canada. So, if you're interested in this, Commander Cody, looking on a retro style packaging, that stuff's kind of fun. It's always fun to have that kind of stuff going on. And is it strange that they tried? I guess they stopped though with Power of the Force packaging. I don't think anybody wanted that. Droid Factory Asmotech Droid R2 B&E Bunny B&E will be available February 16th. If you're interested in it, that is technically something that could be considered news. And there's this. They're talking about adding Luke Skywalker to Galaxy's Edge, which is kind of strange because, well, it's not original trilogy setup. They didn't set it up to be original trilogy. The only feels you really get are the couple of elements that are in there, such as the Falcon itself, the sort of similar deco and makeup and setup of, what is it, Jakku they're setting it up as. But anyhow, I mean, I had a good time with it, as good as you can with what's going on. But with that, I don't know that adding, well, maybe a statue of Luke is what they're going to do. I don't know if that's really going to help. They also said that the Star Wars hotel shut down, and I don't know if it's just a joke, but it's getting turned into office space. I'm sure it's just a joke. All right, so what do you guys think about this week's weekly news and review? What else is going on out there that is fun, cool, and that I missed? Because I like to stay in the know. Like and subscribe, and Tiberium Hanger out.